Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Sector 1 Sim Racing on the YouTube. Good, and welcome back. It's a pleasure to have you. My name is Carbon Boy, and we are here in the beautiful Swiss countryside at the racetrack affectionately known as Deep Forest. No official name aside from that, no official corner name, so you might just find me naming a few of them here tonight. And we are in for an absolute rip snorter tonight. The Category 1A guys are currently locked in a dead heat for the title. So tonight is a winner-takes-all situation. But don't let that take anything away from the Category 1B guys tonight, who are up first. They have provided absolute heated action all season. I couldn't think of a better word to describe it, and I'm sure tonight will continue to be exactly the same, as there will be multiple sets of teammates going toe to toe. There are still valuable teams points on the line tonight, so while we don't have a championship for the Group B guys, I'm pretty sure they will just be happy to settle for their own bragging rights and putting in the best result for their team. By the way, I forgot to mention, my name is Carbon Boy, and joining me as a race director for the first race tonight is none other than my fellow driver in Cat 2A, Mr. Bumcrack, also the team owner of Cracket Esports. How are we this evening?
I'm really well, thanks, mate. Pleasure to be here tonight. It's as you say, it's a very big night of racing.
My apologies for the slightly long-winded intro. I'm just so excited. I could barely contain myself here tonight.
Oh, well justified, I think. It's those Category 1 guys, those Division 1 guys. Holy moly, that's going to be an awesome. It really is.
Indeed. So let's not hold up too long. Just have a quick look at the track map here tonight at Deep Forest. It is, of course, as for anyone who was watching the community series last night would already know this, 15 turns long, a touch over 4.2 kilometers. We are doing 30 laps here tonight, with the available tires being the racing soft and the racing medium tires. We've got of course, the season standard fuel usage of 4 times and 3 times tires, and with the refuel rate being set at 2 litres a second, has polarized opinions. People stand on both sides of the fence whether they love it or hate it this season, but it has definitely been a contributing factor towards people's strategies in regards to whether they're aggressive or not quite as aggressive in a race. Speaking of which, the strategies, there's basically 2, with a possibility of 3, but well, let's face it, there's infinite number of combinations, but the 2 main ones would be the majority of the race done on the racing medium tire. So I would hazard a guess at probably 16 to 18 laps, depending on how they go on the racing medium. Duck into the pit, throw on the softs, and go for gold until the end of the race. Or what I thought was a slightly more aggressive and risky strategy last week actually turned out to be the majority favourite in the Category 2A race. I think there was only 2 drivers who used the medium tyre, from memory.
I believe you're correct.
Were you one of them, Mr. Bumcrack?
No, I went soft.
Yeah, that worked out a lot better than I thought it would, to be honest.
I was surprised that not everybody was on it. I had really good control over tyre wear for that whole race. Just a shame I couldn't get me speed up, that's all.
I was amazed by the lack of tyre wear I was experiencing with those racing soft tyres, so it might be worth keeping an eye on who's doing what here tonight. I'm sure the Cat 1 guys know a thing or two about strategy and conserving tyres, because that's why they're up in Cat 1. They're a lot better than yours truly, but that's okay. I am fine with that. So let's have a, before we get straight into qualifying, let's have a quick look at the points, because they are the all-important situation. So currently leading Category 1A is the Ironheart SimSport driver of Captain Muffin, who is doing Captain Muffin things tonight and is actually unable to make it into Switzerland tonight. I believe he had some issues with passport control and wasn't allowed into the country. He's been a bit naughty in the past, from what I've heard. So he does have his teammate in the form of Grovel filling in for him tonight for some team points for Ironheart, which I'm sure will go a long way, because from memory, they are up there in, I don't have the points on hand at the moment, but they are up there in the team's points. Mr. Bumcrack, can you confirm or deny?
I'm glad you asked, actually, because they are 5 points behind Kraken Esports.
So your boys are currently leading the team's points title, are they?
Yes, it's going to be an interesting night tonight, and only 5 points in it is not a lot, and Grovel's a very handy driver. Never discount Grovel from a race, for sure.
Rightio, so Kraken currently 5 points clear of Ironheart, and there's a small margin back to third, which was Brocky 05 Sim Racing from memory.
Yeah, another 24 or maybe 25 back to Brocky.
Okay, so
but he's got two out of two of the top 4 drivers in the Division 1 race too. So
it's
still a threat there.
It's definitely going to be a tight teams points battle between Ironheart, BSR, and Kraken. So that's something else to keep an eye on tonight. But we've got Evil Evo for Doghouse Motorsports on 98 points. We've got Heafy from Thunder, not far behind on 90, and tied for points with Morgan Davies in the final drive he will be having at Switchblade SimSports. Which is a bit sad to hear. Switchblade have officially announced that they will be winding up operations at the end of this season. So just want to say a big thank you for all of his input over the years to Karen Unleashed. It's been great to have him on board, and we wish him all the best in his future endeavours with wherever that may take him. Speaking of team owners, we've also got the team owner for Dadson in the form of Dadson himself, followed closely by Boy Bagum from Black Rose Racing, Tim Durags also from Switchblade. We've got Danico from Hoomcorp, just 1 point clear of the banker from Doghouse, who is 2 points clear of the other Hoomcorp driver in the form of Hodes. Stickers, the Lightning Motorsport team owner, is unfortunately unable to make it to Switzerland tonight as well. I believe there were some last minute important commitments that he can't make it, long story short. Then we've got the 2 Symmetry drivers in the form of E-Bulk and Zero Placement, who is of course stepping in for the racing accountant who had to unfortunately step out of the Symmetry race seat partway through the season. Rightio, so I think that's enough talk.
I think so.
I think that is more than enough talk. How do we feel about getting qualifying started?
I think the guys would really love that.
I think they would indeed, so I will stop talking, and if you could push that big fat button to start qualifying, that would be perfect.
And with a big click, bang, off it goes.
Lovely. Hello to everyone in the YouTube chat. G'day to Brev. Hello Karen. Good to have you here. Final race feels. Definitely. Definitely the case. Stranger says g'day. Amy Regan says I'm only here for Lenosis. Well, it's not up until the next race, but good to have you, Amy. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. You know the deal. And if everyone in the YouTube chat, if you could chuck in a prediction for who do you think's going to put themselves on pole position tonight. We will finally click over to the qualifying screen. We have everybody out on track at the moment, so first out on track in the gorgeous blue and yellow Dadson livery is Dadson himself, closely followed by Danico for Hoon Corp, my boy Ricky Bobby for APR Motorsport. I genuinely thought Ricky Bobby was in Group A tonight. And going off the points, he most certainly is.
Ooh.
So this is an interesting scenario. Yeah, look. Right. I probably should have picked up on that a little bit earlier, but you know, there's some hot communications going on in the ARP garage at the moment. Anyway, so moving along, we've got Morgan Davies from Switchblade, we've got the Banker from Doghouse. Is there anyone that's been standing out for you in the practice so far tonight?
To be honest, no. Had a few technical gremlins earlier on in the practice sessions, and yeah, I think Ricky Bobby's actually up there with some of the fastest in the group, and with Morgan as well. Apart from that, I think everyone else is very close. Zero placement will probably fare pretty well as well, I think.
He's definitely done well in one of the test starts I saw. He was very, very quick and was able to hold his own against some established drivers, so I wouldn't discount him immediately. Got Boy Magoon from Black Rose. We were just discussing this earlier. It is going to be a night of major confusion for me, because not only do we have both the Hoon Corp drivers, we have both the Black Rose drivers. Now, for those of you who's followed along this season, you've probably had a good laugh at me getting confused between the Hoon Corp and the Black Rose cars. But, yeah, look, let's have a look at the car, and, alright, there's Boy Bagum. Now we'll switch to Danico. Now, audience, tell me if you would not easily confuse those two cars. And that's about all the sympathy I'm going to ask for.
And that's all you're going to get.
Absolutely none. So, Morgan Davies puts himself up into pole position very, very quickly with a 1:34.861. My boy Ricky Bobby less than 2/10 behind him with a 35.041. Boy Bagum, P3 at the moment. Good first flyer for him. He'll be very happy with that. Evil Evo in the P4, just ahead of Boy Bagum on the track. Evil P5 for symmetry, using all of the track through that tricky little first sector. And plus a little bit more. Might have picked up some dirt on the tyres. Tinderags, P6, Switchblade. Dadson sitting in P7. And he's 3/10 up on his previous best, so ooh, it's going to get very, very spicy.
Oh, that might cost him his 3/10.
That might indeed.
Maybe.
Was that a Morgan Davies, or was that was a Morgan Davies up the inside?
Yep.
Flick back to Dadson. We'll see how he fares. See if that cost him any time. I think it might have. He's decided, I'm going to duck into the pits, pick up a fresh set of tyres. As does Ricky Bobby. So here we go. We've got a Black Rose and a Doghouse car, getting a bit of a slipstream down the main straight. And Boy Bagum improves by a half a second to put himself up into P2 with a 1:34.814 to his name. Evil Evo does a 1:34.9, puts himself into P3, knocks Ricky Bobby down to P5. Banker's putting in a solid effort. He's got himself into P7. We're at the 5.5 minute mark, about a 10-minute qualifying session. Will anyone, if anyone's going to duck in for a fresh set of tyres, I feel it would be now, would be the time. And I've just had the YouTube chat jumping in, telling me that the points were incorrect on the stream, so my bad. I have been provided the wrong points for tonight, so my apologies. And yes, Brocky, I'm aware that one has Hoon Corp on the side, the other one has Black Rose, but you look at that car from the distance and tell me. Anyway, back to the action. Morgan Davies, he's taken the advice, ducked in for a fresh set of tyres. Boyabgoom, still P2. Evil Evo's in for a fresh set, as well as zero placement. Grovel's got himself up into P8. Oh, knocked down to P9. The banker says, no you don't, thank you very much. Clocks in with a 135.813. Hodes jumps in the middle of the banker and Grovel. Who's languishing down the back of the grid tonight? Oh, Sizzling Sausage.
Sizzling Sausage.
Whoa, he's had a bit of a moment early in the second sector, and I think he was just doing everything he could to get out of the middle of the track there. So, while it looked a bit messy, I think he had the best intentions. Wasn't trying to do anyone any harm. Just trying to get himself out of the way. Morgan Davies back out on track. He's on his outlap, so we'll check back in with him. Nearly 4/10s clear of Boy Bagum, who's in leading a little bit of a train down here down the straight. Ticking over the 8-minute mark, so they're probably going to get 2 more laps if they're lucky. As E-Bulk decides to pit. Well, that's risky.
Risky.
Boy Bagum, 4/10s down, couldn't improve. Evil Evo's on his outlap, as is zero placement. Ricky Bobby's on a flyer, see if he can do better, put himself up higher than 5th. Ooh, 4.5 seconds stop. Yeah, that was not good. But a big improver is Tim DeRags, who puts himself up into P6 on that last lap with a 135.1. There we go. He was languishing down in, like, I think it was 10th or 11th at, well, not that long ago. It's taken a while to find his rhythm, but he's finally there. We've got the 2 Hoon Corp drivers, Hodes and Danico in P7 and P8. Hudson's moved up to P9. There's another driver who's just taken a little while to warm up. Grovel's been knocked all the way back down to P12. Not the strongest qualifier perhaps, but can confirm he's pretty handy in a race, so I wouldn't expect him to stay there for too long. It's a very tight gap between Boy Bagum and Evil Evo. 0.09 of a second. And Evil Evo will not improve this lap. He is carrying a penalty. Will he get another one? No, he does not.
Oh.
That is his qualifying. Zero placement has decided, I'm going to take P3, thank you very much. Clocking a 134.816. What a clutch lap from him.
Yes.
So Boy Bagum's out on his final flyer. catch up to Morgan. He's got a couple of cars in front of him, also on a flyer. Could be helpful, could be detrimental. We'll have a look at this sector split, see how he's travelling. Come on, give me that sector split. Oh, he's 7/10 down. I don't think that's going to go well for him. So Tim Durags is pulled to the inside. Let's let the other guys go past. I think that's not Hodes. That'll be Danico. No. Oh, this is doing my head in. Who's who? Pretty sure that was a Boy Bagul. Can't improve, 9/10 down. And I believe that is our qualifying run and done for tonight.
It's the whole field.
Right. So we shall have a quick look over the qualifying results for you, so I can at least get those right. I may not get the driver's points right, but I can at least get the qualifying right. So, starting from pole position tonight for the Switchblades final race, actually, because both Switchblade drivers are in this category. So, Morgan Davies with a 134.254, very, very clear of Boy Bagum, who puts himself on the front row of the grid as well. On the second row of the grid, we've got Zero Placement from Symmetry Motorsports and Evil Evo from Doghouse. Third row of the grid, my boy Ricky Bobby and the other Switchblade driver Tim DeRags. The fourth row is a Hooncorp lockout with Hodes and Danico. The fifth row of the grid is Dadson and Ebolk. Sixth row of the grid is Banker and Grovel, and rounding out the grid tonight is a Sizzling Sausage for Black Rose. Alright, YouTube chat, some podium prediction please. Top three, no particular order. I mean, to be perfectly honest, it's probably going to be difficult to go past a Morgan Davies victory. Not that I want to put the Mozza on him, but yeah, tell me what you think. Just a top three. Any thoughts, Mr. Bubcrack?
Well, I'd be pretty well leaning on the my qualifying rolled out. Morgan is definitely the fastest out there on track, as with Zero Placement and Boy Bagum. A 134.2 though. Wow, what a lap!
Yeah, that's fairly rapid. And if this is the Cat 2B or Cat 1A, let me try that again, shall I? This is Cat 1B. So imagine if they're doing a 34.2, I'm starting to suspect that a high 33 might be on the cards for Cat 1A tonight.
It'd be very unsurprising.
Which is a little bit terrifying. Not gonna lie. So why don't we just get straight into it and see what these guys can crack out for us tonight in their final race of Sector 1 Season 10.
Great idea.
All right.
Let's let them go.
Big button pushed. And we shall... Alright, the button has been pushed. Drivers are rolling out onto the grid. They are lining up for their final time this season. I'm sure some people will be happy to see the Renault parked in the garage. Some might want to set it on fire. Some might want to mount it on the wall. Either way, let's get into it.
I quite like that Renault.
I don't mind it until they bop nerfed it. But anyway, 5 lights. Revs are up, clutch is dropped, and they are away. It is all looking fairly clean at this point. Morgan Davies off to a very clean start. Zero Placements managed to get the jump on Boy Bagum, but Boy Bagum has the inside run. Turn 1 at Deep Forest, the outside can be faster. Just depends who's got the biggest step when it comes to turn 2. Boy Bagum says no thank you, you can have it. Steps in behind zero placement. Evil Evo following in line, P4. Ricky Bobby P5. It's all fairly line astern at this stage, all single file.
Well, they've all done well getting through that first part of the track unscathed.
It's all looking nice and clean from my end. Love to see it. Well, the two Hooncorp guys are going side by side up the back straight. This could get interesting at the hairpin. Will T-borders come into effect, or is it an every man for himself situation? We will find out. Look, Danico has backed off and he's let his teammate Hodes have it. So we've got a podium prediction from Karen, Morgan, Daylight, 0. I don't think there's a driver in there called Daylight tonight, Karen. So who's your third driver? Artsy puts in Morgan, Boy Bagum, E-Bulk for the podium. Interesting.
Ooh, yeah.
Interesting. But so far up front, Morgan's still leading. He's got 0 placement, 3/10 off the back of him. He's not letting Morgan get away anytime soon. It's only lap 2. Calm down, Carbon Boy. That's fine. Boy Bagum's still there or thereabouts in the tow. Ricky Bobby's done well to move up to P4. Made a move on Evil Evo that we've unfortunately missed, but that's okay. I'm sure there will be plenty more overtaking opportunities coming up. We do have 28.5 more laps, that's fine. Fairly calm at this point. Evil Evo is just showing their nose a little there at Ricky Bobby, but he's a bit far back to do anything. Ricky Bobby's having a sniff down the inside of Boy Bagum at the hairpin. Can't quite get it done. That's put Evil Evo right on the back of him. Might jump on board Evil Evo.
Oh, yeah, some penalty.
Who has been a bit naughty and picked up a half-second penalty. That's not going to do him any favours. Shows the nose down the inside. Turn 1 on Ricky Bobby.
Gets it done.
Gets the move done. But he is carrying a half-second penalty, so he will find himself back behind Ricky Bobby in about another half a lap's time. It's brought Tinder Rags back into the mix as well. He's not far behind in P6. More of a gap between the two Hooncorp drivers. Dadson P9, closely followed by the banker in P10. Got a little bit of daylight back to E-Bulk in P11. I'm not sure how Artsy's podium prediction is going to go. But that would be an absolutely sensational comeback drive if E-Bulk does get himself onto the podium from here. Not completely impossible, just insanely difficult to be honest. Grovel's P12. Sizzling Sausage looks like he's struggling a little bit tonight. He's in P13. He's well off the back of the grid. Morgan Davies.
Tinder Rags on Evil.
Oh, here we go. Boy Bagum sends it down the inside of 0 placement at turn 1. Holy mother, that was an absolute Hail Mary move. We'll take a look at the replay, but they are side by side at the moment through the I can't say that word because it's not 9
the
o'clock.
uphill S's.
The uphill S's, we'll go with that. But he does manage to make it stick, so let's have a look at that move again. I was thinking zero placement was going to make a move on Morgan Davies into turn 1, but instead Zero has found himself under fire from Boy Bagum. So let's have a look at that on the JSM accounting replay. If I can, let's see if I can get this right working. There we go. So into turn 1, you think, yeah, zero placement's going to make a move, and then bang! Boy Bagum says, I'll have that. Thank you very much. Holds it around the outside into turn 2, has the inside for turn 3, and basically forces zero placement to think better of it and back off and relinquish that spot.
Just things are getting spicy down there with Evil, Drags and Hodes.
Yes, oof, that is getting very spicy there. You've got a 4-car battle pack right there. And they're fanning out.
Oh, he's going for it.
Tinder Rags around the outside. Evil's holding the inside.
That's a good spot to be, that outside.
Well, you've got Hodes there on the inside wanting to have a conversation. Oh, 3 wide into turn 2. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Oh, whew. Well,
they sorted themselves out.
Yep, there's definitely some intelligent decision making going on right there. That is fantastic to see, gents. Nearly giving me a heart attack in the process, but that's fine.
I reckon there's some more actual grips in those steering wheels. Held tight.
Yep, indeed. Tinder Ags is not exactly out of the pressure cooker just yet. He's got a very feisty looking Hodes who's made his way up to P6. Rear bumper, and he's also Hodes also has a Ricky Bobby on his rear bumper, so nobody can really afford to relax too much at this stage. Ricky Bobby shows the nose a little bit. Hodes steps out of the slipstream, down the inside into the hairpin. Oh, it's a little bit side by side. Oh! That was very, very sideways from Tinder Rags. Not sure if he had a helping hand or whether he just got on the power a little bit too enthusiastically, and he also has a half-second penalty. Oh, that is not good at all. We shall...
That's with Ricky Bobby in front of him.
We shall hold off on the replay at the moment because we've got the 2 Hooncorp drivers going side by side in turn 1. Gives Ricky Bobby nowhere to go. Tinder Rags send it. Ricky Bobby's also carrying a half-second penalty, as is Tinder Rags. So we've got the 2 Hooncorp drivers holding up the penalty brothers, as I have now nicknamed them. Thinking back through the years, you've got the old Mighty Ducks movie where you had the Bash brothers. I'm showing my age here, but that's okay. All you younger kids are listening to this going, what the heck is he on about? Well, I'm calling these guys the Penalty Brothers. So Tinder Rags is going to have to serve that penalty this lap. He's got pushed back down to P9, so this is probably going to hurt him that little bit more because Dadson was right on the back of him. Sorry, E-Bolt was right on the back. I think he's managed to not suffer too badly from all of that. We check back in at the front. Morgan Davies, he's not exactly skipping away into the distance here. Boy Bagum's doing a fantastic job of hanging with him. He's only 3/10 off the back. 0 placements, 6/10 behind Boy Bagum, so he's certainly got the pace to hang with him. And we are 7 laps in, so what do you say we have a quick tyre and fuel update from APR? How's that?
I was actually about to start with that.
Lovely.
Look, right up there in first place with Morgan, half a second out in the... He's got soft tyres, and they're looking at 20% more. Now, the first couple of guys, Boy Bagum, Morgan's sitting on about 70% fuel. Boybegum's got about 73% fuel with exactly the same tyres. Zero with the same tyres at about 73%. Evo with the same tyres around the 70% fuel, 71% fuel. So they're very similar to the guys. Gum's probably used the most. Down to Danico, who has is very similar again. Hodes. These guys are almost all identical. It's incredible. All the way, Ricky Bobby, E-Bulk, the first of our medium. Obviously, his tyres aren't very warm.
Ah, so
And
we do have some medium tyre runners.
We do have a medium runner.
Excellent.
He's sitting on about. He's used less fuel than everybody else, so you'd like to think he would. And we've got Dadson there on the soft tyres, which he's used a bit more than most above him.
Sorry,
the
we've
banker.
just got E-Bulk making a move on Ricky Bobby going into turn 1. Sends it
As
down
with
the
Tim
inside.
Durags.
Thank you very much. Gets it done. Sorry, skipping back to Dadson and the banker.
Yes, Ricky Bobby, Dadson's used a little bit more fuel than most. The banker, he's pretty well average up with the top 3 or 4 guys. Tim Durags, again, used a little bit more fuel, but everyone's got the same tyre. So Grovel's used less tyres than just about everyone else, but they used more fuel.
Tim Durags has picked
Sizzling
himself
sausage.
up another half-second penalty. Just noted there.
Oh no. Grovel's pretty well the same as everybody else, but then there's Sizzling Sausage down the tail end. Well, so we've got 2 medium runners in here tonight.
Okay. So it'd be E-Bulk and Sizzling Sausage.
Correct.
Grovel's managed to put himself back onto the back of Tim Durags, who's just served his penalty there. So Grovel will make his way past up into P11, gets himself back into slipstream range of the banker Dadson pack. And there's 6 cars in front of him there, so he could. Oh, hang on, here we go. It's getting very, very spicy here with E-Bulk, Ricky Bobby, and Hodes. Looks like E-Bulk is giving Hodes a bit of a bump draft down the straight, giving him a bit of a hurry up. Let's go.
They would have been throwing haymakers at themselves all the race.
E-Bulk sends it down the inside into Deja Vu. Is there going to be a switcheroo here from Danico? Or there might be. I think he's got it done.
Yeah.
Or side by side through
E-Bulk.
2.
Oh.
Side by side through 3.
Place to be.
Someone's. Oh, this is going to end horribly for somebody.
It did.
Oh, that has not gone. That could have gone a whole lot worse for Hodes. As we shall have a look at that on our JSM Accounting Action replay. I didn't put the Mozza on him, I just know when things are going to go bad. So, having a look through that first sector, side by side, neither driver wanting to give up. I think they're, I'm going to leave that for the stewards. I'm leaving that alone. I'm just a commentator. But what I will say is that was a fantastic bit of car control there from Hodes. That was an absolutely amazing save to keep that facing the right direction and off the wall.
Regular drive.
Get off the, there we go, if I can get off the replay screen and back to the race. There we go, so I'm going to leave that all well alone. So Zero Placement's actually got his way back past Boybegum in amongst all that chaos.
Not letting each other go, these 3.
This is your podium battle right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
So just going
One of
back
these
to,
drivers has actually used a fair bit of fuel to stay where they are.
just to see Artsy's podium prediction. Morgan, Boybegum, E-Bulk. If you swapped out E-Bulk for the other Symmetry driver, you would be right on the money. So we got the teams right, just not quite the driver. There we go, zero placement. Down the inside, the braking zone into the hairpin. Parks the car on the apex, doesn't give Morgan the chance to do the undercut. Gets the move done, he's obviously had enough of being behind. But that is going to give Morgan the slipstream down the full length of this very long, well, it's not completely straight, but Boy Bagoom doesn't know which slipstream to pick right now. Morgan Davies managed to get himself back past, holds the inside line. Zero gets a great exit coming out of one. They're side by side into, oh, I'm getting some deja vu here, ladies and gentlemen. Zero's backed off. Maybe he's just testing the waters here with Morgan. Kind of get the feeling he's just sort of pushing and probing to see where any chinks in the armour might be, where there might be a weakness or a best opportunity, I suppose. Right on top of each other going up the back straight. We're on lap 11, probably still a few laps shy of a pit stop. Zero is quite close enough this time around to make a move. Evil Evo's managed to get himself a little bit of daylight. Back to Danico in P5, who's not to put the Mozza on him. I'll get the camera off him. Ooh, Evil Evo's had a bit of a shocker there at the hairpin. Oh, this looks like a mechanical malfunction for Evil Evo. He is pulling over to the side of the track. I think there might be a hardware issue and he's just doing a little bit of a reboot. Might be having to do a slight computer reset on the fly, which is never good.
He's back.
Looks like he's up and going again, but that has slapped him from P4 back to P11.
Ouch.
That's a lot of heartbreak there for the doghouse driver. It's good to see he's managed to get himself going again. Yeah, it's very easy to panic in that sort of situation. Check back up the front. Zero's still a bump sticker on the back of the Switchblade car. Boybakum's still hanging in there. He's a second behind. Danico's having a great drive tonight, currently in P4. My boy Ricky Bobby's had a little recovery from his little earlier teething issues, we could say. He's in P5. Jadson's putting in a solid drive as well. He's up into P6. A little bit of a gap up to Ricky Bobby, but he can hang in there. Tim Durags after copping a few penalties. So back up into P7. Hodes P8. Banker putting in consistent laps, P9. Grovel for teams points is up in P10. He's under fire from Evil Evo at the moment. While he's only here for teams points, that doesn't mean he has to get out of the way. He's just as entitled to track space as anybody else.
Certainly is.
Simpson Sausage is in P12 with his best lap of the race so far with a 1:37.4. Something going up with E-Bulk there. He's down in P13.
Yeah.
Well off the back. Has he pitted?
Yes, he has.
Okay, that explains the time deficit. Has he gone to soft tyres?
No.
Oh.
coming in early like that, he's gone onto the.
So he went from mediums to mediums after.
He went from.
I'm pretty sure he was one of our
Yeah, he
medium drivers.
was. It was Sausage and
E-Bulk.
E-Bulk, yeah.
Huh, interesting.
And he's got about 90% fuel on board. I suppose that'll be right. That'll get him home.
Alright, keep an eye
Yeah,
on that.
okay.
That's an interesting strategy.
Yes.
Like, hang on, sorry, skipping back to the front. Zero Placement was having a good old look at Morgan into the braking zone of T1. Can't quite get it done. But I kind of get the feeling that these two are starting to throw haymakers at each other because Boy Bagum is back within 3/10. He's not going away. And he'll be sitting there in P3 at the moment watching these two swinging at each other, just thinking to himself, yep, keep going boys, keep doing it. Every bit you two fight helps me out, which he's no slouch, Mr. Boy Bagum. He's very quick and infuriatingly consistent.
Yes.
I mean that with all the love in the world. Having driven against him, it's just kind of like how your guy at Black Project just is an absolute weapon with saving fuel.
Yes, yes.
I've lost count of the number of times I've sat behind him saving fuel, thinking I've done a great job, and we pull into the pits at the same time, and he's still 10% up on me. It's like, I've given up trying to work out how. I've just accepted it.
Last week, that was exactly me, except with everybody. I thought, geez, I've done well. And then got into the pits. What? No. Oh.
Alright, so Zero Placement. No. I
Oh.
don't know whether he was just
Taking a
taking
look.
I don't know if he was taking an aggressive inside line or just trying to throw a bit of a dummy to Boy Bagum, but these top three have completely skipped out. Ricky Bobby is... Oh, here we go. He's having a great old battle with Danico at the moment. Ricky Bobby's got himself up into P4, but I think Danico wants to have a conversation about that. Ricky Bobby holds it down the inside in turn 1. Seems to be where a lot of the overtaking manoeuvres are made tonight. Very long straight, brilliant opportunity to get in the slipstream draft, pull up alongside and then just beat your opponent under brakes. May not always work out for you because, as we mentioned, you can hold the outside line at turn 1, and it is very, very doable to hold that position. And we've just had a confirmation from the Doghouse Garage that Evil Evo did indeed
Reboot.
have to do a hardware reboot. We've also got Karen, the king of dad jokes. Zero is in perfect placement here. Badum Tish. Yeah, look, I'm not going to lie. That's actually pretty good. That's some top-notch quality there, Karen. Pay that. I normally
into the pits.
Normally hate dad jokes, but that one's definitely up there. So, top 3, Zero, Morgan, and Boy Bagum have pit. Ricky Bobby faints to the inside. He's decided, nah, I'm going to go around again. Danico's done the same. Dadson's done the same. Tim Durags is following suit. What's Grovel going to do? He's gone around as well. So where's Zero Placement going to come out?
Oh, he's got a bit of a fuel advantage over Morgan.
Does indeed. I think Zero might just jump Morgan in the pits here. Insert Switchblade fuel joke here. Yeah, that's it. I'm done. So fuel's going in. Where are they coming out? There's the only driver. The only driver behind them that isn't pitted is E-Bulk, and he's just come out of the hairpin now. So out of the pits, Zero Placement is currently in P7. He is 2 seconds up on Boy Bagum, who is 3 seconds up on Morgan Davies. Wow, that is a massive fuel save advantage right there.
Yeah.
Zero Placement has effectively outdone Morgan to the tune of 5 seconds in the pit. Just off fuel. Is there a difference, big difference in how much they've put in the tank between Zero and Morgan?
Morgan, he came in with a lower tank and went out with a high.
Okay,
Morgan left with about 82%, 83%.
So all in all,
Zero
Morgan's put in more fuel than Zero, which is
yes.
Right. So it would probably be around 10% difference, I would imagine. Total.
No.
I mean, combined from when he went in and from when he's come out.
Yeah. Actually, very close. About 9, I think. 5 when they came in, and out 4 more.
Close enough.
Yes, very close.
Alright, I'm going to give a little bit of TV time, hashtag no bias, to my boy Ricky Bobby, currently out in P1, on his 17th lap on those racing softs, so clearly tyre wear is not a big thing for him here tonight. He's doing remarkably well, I would imagine. And also a little bit of TV time while he's up there. P2, Sizzling Sausage. I don't think he's pitted. No, he has not pitted yet.
No.
Even though I've got the timing screen telling me he's pitted multiple times. There we go. Thank you, GT7, for doing GT7 things again. Gotta love it. Alright, so Zero Placement is 2.5 seconds behind the Sizzling Sausage. 1.5 up on Boy Bagul, so he's managed to stretch that lead out by another couple of tenths. Morgan Davies 3.3 behind Boy Bagul. There's a bit more daylight between Morgan and Danico. It's 5.5 seconds. Banker's got himself within screen range of Danico, so he's putting in a solid effort tonight. Looks like he's pitted as well on lap 15. Do we have, aside from E-Bog, do we have anyone else on the medium tyre?
Oh, yeah, we've still got Sizzling Sausage who has yet to come in.
That's right, yep. Sausage and E-Bog.
Yes. And it's just it's just those two. And E-Bog's going to finish the race on things. Sizzling Sausage.
I'm watching Danico, Banker, and oh no, they've all pit. Never mind, don't mind me. I am easily confused at the best of times. Here we go.
Oh.
Dadson and Evil Evo are having a bit of a conversation through the uphill S's.
Surely Ricky Bobby's going to come in this lap.
I would like to think so. He's inside the pit lights. There we are.
Jeez, he got his money worth out of those tyres.
He's done well, so he's 31 seconds up on Zero Placement, who has just made his way past Sizzling Sausage. But I think Sausage, I'm not sure if there was some teamwork going on there, because Sizzling Sausage has gotten well out of the way of Boy Bagul, who is now right on the back of Zero Placement. There was 1.5 seconds, that's now down to 3/10.
Good.
So these two running nose to tail, go sweeping past Ricky Bobby, who's still in the pits, putting fuel in the car. Sizzling Sausage goes around again. Boy Bagum goes purple with a 1:34.6 race lap. Thank you very much. Oof. Okay, slipstream assisted. And don't let the facts get in the way of the good story, ladies and gentlemen. Battle is far from over. It was brewing early in the race and it continues on even into the later stages. So we'll check back in on that. So we'll see how everyone else is travelling. So Sizzling Sausage is still third, provisionally. He's yet to pit. I would hazard a guess he's going to be doing it very shortly. Those medium tyres, while they would be wearing out, he's sort of at the point now where he needs to get onto the softs to try and minimise any time he's losing. He's now got Morgan Davies 7/10 behind him. Danico's in P5. As I've said earlier, he's done fairly solid effort tonight, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, take Sizzling Sausage's pit stop out of the equation, that puts Danico into P4. Morgan in third. Banker's still hanging around in P6. He's not going away anytime soon. Ricky Bobby's in P7. He's got a fair bit of work to do. 3.5 seconds behind the banker. Got a very fired up Evil Evo after his earlier technical issues. He's 1.5 seconds back in P8. He's made his way past Dadson. Having a bit of a battle earlier on. Grohl's in P10, a few seconds back down the road. Hodes is in P11. Tim Durag's in P12. Tim has had a bit of a rough one, I'd say, just before the pit stop. I'm looking at a 1:45 5-lap as he goes flying off the road there. I'm not sure if that was assisted or not. I'm going to leave that well alone. Not touching that one. Checking back in on the battle up the front. Still zero placement out in front. 3.5 tenths to clear of Boy Bagum. They've got 5.3 seconds back to Morgan Davies. So, I mean, 5 seconds in 10 laps. That's not impossible, especially if these two start battling. Having said that, not easy either. Means you have to be consistently half a second a lap faster. Catching them is one thing, of course. Overtaking, hey.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a completely different kettle of fish.
Sizzling Sausage has finally come in.
Did he do 21 laps on those mediums?
20 years.
20 laps. Wow.
Yes.
See, that's where my brain was telling me to do the strategy last week, and it was a very last minute stuff it kind of situation. Figured it's the last round of the season. I was out of contention for a top 5 finish anyway. I was like, bugger it, and just send it and see what happens. Well, as it turns out, maybe I should have done that a few times extra during the season. Things might have gone a bit differently, but that's okay. So Boy Bagum's still in touch with zero placement. Not quite close enough for a move here at the hairpin. Morgan Davies not really making inroads. The gap has grown a couple of tenths. Does have a healthy 7 seconds back to Danico, who now has the banker right on the back of him. And Ricky Bobby's not far behind either. You've got the other doghouse driver in the form of Evil Evo, not far behind Ricky Bobby. So if Danico and Banker start tussling, that'll bring both Ricky Bobby and Evil Evo back into contention. Nothing doing there. Boy Bagum still a bumper sticker on the Symmetry Motorsports car. Just be pushing and probing a little bit, looking for a weakness. I remember watching Zero in a few rounds of the Community Series so far this season. It doesn't look to be too many weaknesses, at least from what I can see. Of
No.
course, then again, I didn't really have the pace to spend too much time behind him, so I didn't really get that much time to find out. But here we go. Boy Bagum might have a look here at the hairpin. No, backs out of it. Not this time. He's just keeping Zero on his toes. The gap back to Morgan's come back down to just over 5 seconds. So he's pulled half a second out of it. Needs to start getting a bit more. 22 laps down. 8 laps to go. Nico's managed to eke out a couple of tenths on the banker. Gap between the banker and Ricky Bobby's back down to 1.4. It's grown out to 3 seconds between Ricky Bobby and Evil Evo as Ricky Bobby puts in his personal best lap of a 35 flat. Dadson having a fairly quiet race, but a solid effort so far. Puts himself into P8. Chasing down Evil Evo. There's only 1.1 seconds in it. Got Groller in it for Ironheart team points in P9. Hodes in P10. Tipter Rags not far behind, P11. We've got Sizzling Sausage and E-Bulk running nose to tail in P12 and 13. So the two medium runners, well, Sizzling Sausage would be on the softs now, I would imagine.
Yes, they're both on.
Wait, has E-Bulk hit
He's come in. He's got softs on. He's only just coming out of the pits.
He hit again on lap 20 by the look of his lap times.
Yes.
Okay, so he's done a medium soft.
Wow.
That's an interesting strategy.
Yes.
I wouldn't say it's the best idea, but it's interesting. I'll pay that.
That's up there with stickers for being different.
All right. So just as a note, we've got a Black Rose and a Symmetry battle for P12 and P13, and we have a Symmetry and Black Rose battle for P1 and 2 as, oh no, Zero Placement's picked up a half-second penalty. That is going to hand first position over to Boy Bagum, who I'm pretty sure will take it with open arms and a thank you very much. So I was going with the pointers. We have a Black Rose Symmetry battle for first and second, and well, last and second last. So at either end of the field, we've got a Black Rose Symmetry battle. And Zero is about to start cursing a rather large amount of naughty words, I would imagine, as he's got to get on the brakes.
He's going to hold it.
Oh, he's very defensive there.
Ooh, he did, he held it.
Oh, I think there's probably a Symmetry team owner breathing a massive sigh of relief right now. There would still be a lot of cursing coming from underneath that helmet, I would imagine.
I bet.
It's the worst moment in like an absolute pressure situation like this, and you pick yourself up a half-second penalty. The Boy Bagum sends it down the inside of turn 1. Zero's going for the switchback. Boy Bagum holds the inside line, parks on the apex, nothing doing there. Will they be side by side? No, thankfully both drivers very intelligent here. They've learned side by side through these S's is fraught with danger. So Boy Bagum taking the lead of the race with a textbook maneuver into turn 1. Morgan Davies still 5 seconds behind, so he might just be consolidating a podium here tonight. Ricky Bobby's made his way into P4. He's got himself past Danico. Great comeback drive. He was in P7 not that long ago. Danico's under fire from the banker as well. He's having a brilliant drive as well tonight. He's kept it quiet, but has been putting in very consistent laps. Is there anywhere for him to make a move here? No, I think he's a little too far back into this hairpin. He is indeed. So we'll get right back to that. Oh, hello. Boy Bagum has managed to eke out a little bit of a lead here on Zero. Is there a tyre differential between Boy Bagum and Zero at all?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Both of them on the virtually identical fuel, virtually identical tyre.
Okie dokie. So it's not like one of them is suffering from a massive lack of grip or anything. It's just okay. Rightio. So all's fair in love and war.
It's on for those two for the rest of the race. And just Morgan's actually looking very much similar, except with a little bit more fuel. So he's pulled that down to 5 seconds, 5.5 seconds.
Well, he's down to 4.8 now. It was a little bit over 5 seconds about a lap or two ago. So he's got the gap down, but not as much as he wanted.
He'll be there to clean up the mess if something catastrophic happens.
Bobby in P4, he's clearing out from Danico, who's still holding P5 over the banker. Who's 5 seconds clear of his teammate, Evil Evo, who's now got Dadson for company, right on the rear bumper. Oh, Evil Evo's got a half-second penalty. I think he's just run a little bit wide there at the exit of the second sector. That is onto the back straight. It's very easy to do. Dadson's got the inside line. Don't think Evil Evo's going to fight it too much. Just tucks in behind, gets on with it. Alright, so... And, sorry, we have missed that. I am terrible at this. I got distracted by that. Zero Placement has put himself back into the lead of the race. See if I can catch a replay, but I'm very skeptical. Oh wait, there we go. I managed to save it. He's pulled the Uno reverse card on Boy Bagum. Under brakes into turn 1. Baked to the outside. Back to the inside. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully I've managed to redeem myself a little bit.
Nice.
Oh, what's happened here? Alright, I am having some interesting technical issues at the moment.
Zero's still holding that lead to half a second.
Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I am just trying to sort out some minor technical issues. Alright, there we go. I think I have it all sorted. Gotta love it when your computer software just decides to lock up and basically not function. Good times all around. So, lap 28 of 30, there'll be 2 laps at the end of this one. 2 laps left. Can Boy Bagum make it happen? He's half a second behind Zero, but he'll be able to make up that with the slipstream down this main straight. So, I don't think Zero is out of the woods just yet.
he has two. He thought he ran that wide. So Penelope out of it.
Here we go, it could be on. Boybagum's pulled out of the slipstream. They're side by side over the finish line. If that was a final lap, Boybagum would have had it done. The chess game begins. Well, actually, I think this game began a long time ago. Boybagum holds the inside, gets a great exit. Very clearly in front through that uphill S's. Give me another hour and 15 minutes and I can call it what I'd really like to. Spoiler alert, it ain't nice. I think Boybagum wants to try and just out away right now. He wants to be able to get as far ahead as possible because he knows that slipstream is going to be helping Zero. Zero's got a great exit onto that uphill back straight through the tunnels.
So that penalty though.
Wait, what? Oh! Zero's got the penalty! Oh my!
Yeah.
I did not even notice that. Holy, that is a massive game changer. Boybagum will be absolutely cheering at this point.
Doing a lot over there.
No, it hasn't done as much damage as what you'd imagine. It's gone from 3/10 to 6/10. 1 lap to go. Still possible for Zero to chase down Boybagum here. Final lap. Less than half a second in it.
Fuel light.
I don't think either of them are going to be worried about fuel saving right now. It will be a rev it out all the way. Give it all of the beans. That gap back to Morgan has extended out to 6 seconds, so I think he will have to consolidate with P3 tonight. Zero placements all over the place, looking for a way around Boybagum. Can't quite get it done. Rather outside of, I don't know what to call that corner, but down there, it's not the place to do it.
There.
Yeah, that one. Through the down, up, down, yeah, left, right, nope. This is where it's crucial to get a great exit out of that corner because it will affect your speed up the hill through the tunnels. I think Boybagum is going to have to go defensive here. There is no if, buts or maybes. Yes, he does. Goes to the left of the track. Oh, he's given Zero enough room. He's given him just enough room. Zero's parked it on the apex. Oh, I think he's got deep under brakes. Oh, this is amazing. They are side by side out of the hairpin. Zero's just got the nose in front. Can Boybagum come back through the slipstream? Oh, it's going to be tight. It will be very tight indeed, but I think Zero is going to hang on. Oh, I could be wrong. I could be very, very wrong here. Oh my god! Oh, Zero takes it out by 17 thousandths of a second. Morgan Davies bringing home P3. Ricky Bobby P4. Oh, there's a race here between Danico and the Banker for P5 and 6. And there's 200s in it with Danico taking P5, Banker taking P6, Evil Evo P7, Dadson P8, Grovel P9, Hose bringing home P10. Woo, take a breath. Tim Durags bringing home P11. Sizzling Sausage on his final lap, coming up for a little bit of look at me time. Oh, well.
That was a little exciting.
Yeah, look, that kicked off. If my heart rate's going like this, I can only imagine what Boybagum and Zero Placement's heart rates are like.
And they both had nothing left in that tank. Would have been lucky to be 1% in it, both of those tanks.
It's good to see the drivers have left it all out on the track. It's the way we like to see it. So, Sizzling Sausage, not his night tonight, but still brings it home. Collects those points for P12. Ebolg, not a great night for him either, but brings it home in P13. And that just about does it for our race there tonight, as we shall have our little recap of the race results. I just need to take a breath momentarily. Just need to have a breather after that. Right, I finally got the right button going. Okay, so our race winner tonight for Symmetry Motorsports is Zero Placement in P2 by 17 thousandths of a second. Boy Begum for Black Rose. P3 for Morgan Davies for Switchblade Sim Sports. P4, Ricky Bobby for APR Motorsport. P5, Danico, very solid finish for him for Hooncorp. P6, The Banker for Doghouse. P7, a good recovery drive after his earlier technical issues. Evil Evo for Doghouse Motorsport. P8, Dadson for Dadson Motorsport. P9 for Team Points for Ironheart with Grovel. P10 for Hooncorp is Hodes. P11 for Switchblade is Timder Rags. P12 Sizzling Sausage for Black Rose, and E-Bulk in P13 for Symmetry Motorsports. Rightio, YouTube viewers, nominations for your driver of the day, please. Mr. Bumcrack, what are your thoughts?
Oh, look, what a great race at the end there. I think Boybegum will get it, but I need to put a special mention in for Evil. Coming back from that wheel issue, he's done really well. Great race, Boy.
Has indeed, has indeed. We've got a Driver of the Day nomination for Boy Begum in the chat. Driver of the Day, Zero. Drivers of the Day, Boy Begum and Zero.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go with that just because I can. I'm going to give it a joint Driver of the Day to Boy Begum and Zero Placement. That last 10 laps from those two was just absolutely sensational. Like that is what we want to see when we go racing. Very hard, very fair, and a non-stop heart-wrenching action. So both of those drivers have delivered for us in that regard. So yeah, I'm just going to call it a joint Driver of the Day to both Zero and Boy Begum. Congratulations.
You can do
that. Don't go too far, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to have a short intermission while we set up for the finale for this season. It is the one you've been waiting for. It has all come down to the wire tonight. The Category 1 champion will be decided one way or another here tonight. And if they can't sort it out on track, apparently there's going to be a Rocket League 1v1 scenario going on, which I'm not sure how I can stream that, but if it does happen, I will make it happen so nobody misses out on that action. Thank you very much, Mr. Bumcrack. It has been a pleasure, as always, having you here in the comms box tonight, as it has been throughout the entirety of this season.
Thank you very much, mate. It's been a pleasure to be here. Look, I'm going to go straight up and put the YouTube on the big TV upstairs and watch this last race. What a great sort of crescendo to the season.
It is indeed. So don't go too far, people. Go get yourself a fresh bunch of snacks, fresh drink, have a toilet break, and we will be right back with the season finale. Looking forward to it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, ready at last for the final round of Sector 1 Season 10, the Renault Megane Trophy. I would just like to quickly chuck in a big thank you to our season sponsors in the form of Next Level Racing, Adelaide Ceramic Coatings, JSM Accounting Group, Boxer Beauty, and APR Automotive. Without the support from these guys and girls, we would not be able to bring you the production that we do. Well, we might be able to, but it would be a lot more difficult and things would just not be as enjoyable. So thank you very much to our sponsors for making it all happen this season. Now, joining me tonight in the comms box as race director for the Cat 1 Group A final round is none other than a fellow Cat 2 driver of mine, Mr. Revs. How are we this evening?
Good, man. Can't believe it. End of season 10. Championship couldn't be any closer. Tied at the top of the leaderboard on a very difficult track. This is going to be an exciting race.
Well, funny you mentioned that. Let's have a look at those points right now. Now, I'm not sure how accurate they might be in the lower order, as I was informed earlier that they are not correct. But what I can tell you is that at the top of the table, Geesh and Mountain Goat are 100% locked together on equal points at 206 points apiece. So, while there is bonus points available for qualifying on pole and fastest lap, realistically, whoever wins tonight is in a very good position to take out the Season 10 title. So sitting in third at the moment is Godey's teammate Foss for BSR. Young Wacky for Kraken Esports is sitting in P4. He's maybe out of the title fight, but can certainly contribute very heavily towards the team's championship points tonight, because he also has his teammate Dale Teeks in this group as well. So there could be a very big haul of points on order for Kraken tonight. In fifth, we've got GDR for Blacklight Motorsports, just in front of my boy Lenosis from APR Motorsport. Got Niff from CP in P7, got Tombo from Blacklight in 8th, Slappers having a fantastic season for Dadson in 9th, got CPJ50 for CP Motorsports in 10th, got John 27 for Lightning in 11th, Dale Teeks for Kraken in 12th, Artsy, the team owner of Thunder Motorsport, finding himself back into Group A for the final round, and Ricky Bobby is not in this group tonight, so we can discount that. But I'm just trying to find out, who do we have in here tonight? We have Heafy, the other Thunder Esports driver, is in a Group A tonight, so there could be a good haul of points for the Thunder Esports team tonight in their inaugural season. So that would be finishing off a fairly good first season for the team. I'm sure the team owner will be very happy.
Well, they wrapped up the Cat 2 championship with Big J.
That they did. They did indeed seal it. It was a great drive through most of the season from Big J. He's had a bit of a rough moment here and there, with some off-track excursions, but for the most part, absolutely rapid pace and an absolute weapon on track. So I'd be very keen to see him back again next season. Actually, just quietly, I'd be very keen to see him in Cat 1, but that's just me. I mean that with all the love in the world. Yeah. Great guy. Bugger off, you're too fast. Speaking of too fast, should we kick off qualifying?
Yep, let me give him a heads up.
Rightio. Alright, ladies and gentlemen in the YouTube chat, hope you're sitting down and are fired up and excited for this. I'm pretty sure all drivers are going to leave nothing on the table tonight. Going to leave it all out on track and give it everything they've got. So, give me a prediction. who's going to be on pole. Is it going to be Geesh? Is it going to be Goaty?
There's a few that are looking really fast. Boston, Practice, John, Nif, Goaty, GTR, Geesh. It's a toss-up, really. They were all looking pretty quick. I'm ready to press this purple polka dots starting button when you're ready.
Smash that button, mate. Let's get it going.
Here we go.
Good evening, Apex Humper. He's showing a little support for Goat in the YouTube chat. Nice drive by yourself last night, Mr. Humper. I'm saying that with the straightest face I can possibly come up with right now. Alright, we've still got some drivers sitting in the pits. Alright, they are out and on track. So we have, first on track, we've got Dale Teeks from Kraken Esports. Thunder Artsy for team owner for Thunder Esports, second on the road. Followed by Tombo for Blacklight. We've got the other Thunder Esports driver, Heafy. The opposite black and pink livery to his team owner's pink and black. You'll notice there's slightly more of one colour, depending on which sponsor they prefer.
Both of them.
My personal preference is... Well, actually, I don't really have one. I like them both. I'm staying out of that one. I'm not going there. I've got Geesh, the title contender for Ironheart in their inaugural season. I think he would be absolutely stoked to bring home a championship. Got Young Wacky for Kraken Esports. Everyone's just sort of fanning out and giving each other a little bit of space right now. I did skip past the Oasis. Those beautiful pink wheels, rather hard to spot in the darkness of the tunnel. Got so many comments to say, but it's before 9 o'clock and I can't say any of them, so we're just going to leave it alone. Got Grovel in the chat, showing a bit of support for his teammate Geesh. Good effort tonight, Grovel.
He had two earlier, coming ninth. That wasn't bad at all. He didn't think he was going to do very well, but it looks like to me he did very well getting up to ninth place.
I'd be happy in ninth in a group above me, so every day of the week.
Yeah, so would I.
So they're out onto their first flyer. Dale Teeks first out on the road. Still got Artsy and Tombo in hot pursuit. We saw a 34.2, I believe it was, fastest lap for qualifying, set by Morgan. Cat 1B group, so I'm expecting to see a high 33, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, these guys are really quick.
Especially if you throw in some slipstream along the way. So what have we got as our opening lap? Dale Teeks coming down the... Oh, there we go. We've got Artsy ducking into the pits. He's called it early.
Yeah, he had a slap, tech slapper coming out of that last corner into the straight, and I think that's probably what he did.
Alright, Dale Teeks quickly overtaken by Tombo and Geesh. Geesh drops a 134.4 first flyer. Holy moly, there we go. He's just getting warmed up too. Tombo doing a sensational job in P2 with a 34.5. Out and go. There we go, the BSR boys in the slipstream train. We've seen this a couple of times in qualifying this season. Not a bad strategy, the two guys working together, not hindering anyone else, so all's fair. Just let's both of them get a fairly decent result in qualifying. It's not without its danger though, like one wrong step and you could mess up the lap for both drivers, so... It's a risk versus reward kind of scenario. We'll see how it pays off for them. But Miff in P4, he's just behind that BSR slipstream train, so he might be able to jump on and take advantage of that. Just behind him, we've got John for Lightning Motorsport. He's probably a little out of slipstream range there, but he's doing alright as well with a 134.8 first flyer. Heafy P7 so far, Young Wacky P8. He might just be taking a little while to warm up. Tombo's in the pits, Geesh in the pits. Young Wacky in the pits, fair enough. Get the tyre change done early. Lenosis improves by 2/10, but still in P10. It's only 600ths behind Wacky. He's got nudged.
Boss to the top.
There we go. Foss with a 34.394. He's right on the back of Tombo. At least
first and second.
Hang on. Is that Tombo or is that... No, that's not Tombo. That's GTR. My bad. Ugh. It was a blacklight driver. I had a 50-50 chance. There we go. So GTR's in P7. He's 1/10 down on his best time. But he is providing a bit of a slipstream back to... Is it Goat or is it... Or is it Foss? It's Foss. Right.
Foss is up front.
Yep, there we go. Do they have different coloured wheels? Is there something I can use to tell
Yeah,
them?
Mountain Goat has black wheels and Foss has the chrome colored ones.
And also the bright pink number on the side of Goat's car is probably an indicator as well. But
Yeah, that would help.
the wheels are easier to
that.
the wheels are easier to see. Right, so Goaty's got
Helping each other. Very
Goaty's
smart.
got the darker wheels. Got that. Roger. Alright, so how's the BSR slipstream train going to work out for them this time around?
Oh, going in.
Yep, there we go. That's how it's going to work. So they've put themselves into P1 and P2, dipping Geesh down to P3. Geesh could be using a little bit of a slipstream here from, I'm going to say GDR. I'm going to be wrong and it's Tombo. So basically I should just say the opposite driver of what I'm thinking. That'll probably give me a much better accuracy rate. So we've got two BSR drivers, we've got two Blacklight drivers, we've got two Kraken drivers, we've got two Thunder drivers. Alright, this is... At least the Thunder guys, it's easier to tell the difference because they've got slightly different liveries. And before everyone in the YouTube chat starts making fun of me, you try it. That's all I got. Oh boy, rightio. So, Geesh currently sitting in P3. What's his sector split here? Can he make any inroads? He's currently purple. And he's doing it without slipstream assistance, ladies and gentlemen. This is an ominous sign indeed. He is this fast in clear air. Just let that sink in. He's coming onto the main straight through that final little dip up the hill, which is so painful in this car because of the bop nerf. What can he do? 33. Oh, improves on his best lap. 34.4. But just, I think that's where the slipstream really comes into assistance here, is on that long straight before the finish line. I mean, he's only 47 thousandths behind Foss. So, I mean, and Goaty...
There's good wind out there as well for a fast lap. The wind is blowing just right up the main straight and up the hill, so yeah, you couldn't ask for any better conditions.
Right, so there's literally thousands between the top three.
Yeah.
And then Tombo is, you know, another 10th behind Jish in P4, putting in a very solid effort tonight, that must be said. Tombo's having a great qualifying as he's tailgating Lenosis up that back straight. 9.5 minutes to go, or 9.5 minutes down. I don't think these guys might just get another lap if they're lucky. Nif's in P5, he's up on his best time. He might just be able to pip Tombo here if he can hold it through the final chicane. He'll have a slipstream towards the finish line, courtesy of the BSR boys, so that will definitely help him. And it's GDR tucked in behind him as well, so final lap for these guys. Clutch lap time. Mountain Goat takes pole. Oh, GTR! With a clutch lap. Nice. Pips Mountain Goat for pole position. Oh, that could be critical for the championship point situation, because that does take the pole position bonus point away from Goaty. So what that does, that puts it into the scenario of Goaty needs to finish. Oh, I can't do the math here, but off the top of my head, he will need to finish 2 spots ahead of Jish. No, you know what? I'm going to stop. I'm not going into all the hypotheticals. I'm going to leave it alone.
I think it's anybody who wins above the other, it will be champion. Yeah, a tied race, so it'll boil down to the points, and if one can get in front of the other, that'll be the championship. What a finish.
Oof.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, congratulations, GTR. That was extremely quick.
That was a
lap I've seen.
sensational clutch lap right there in the dying moments of qualifying from GTR. So we shall take a look at those qualifying results. So in pole position for Blacklight Motorsports is a GTR with a 134.035, so not that far off getting a high 33 lap. Just being bumped out of position is Goaty for BSR in P2. On the second row of the grid is Foss for BSR and Jish for Ironheart. Third row of the grid, Young Wacky for Kraken Esports and Nif from CP Motorsports. Fourth row of the grid is a Tombo from Blacklight, just pipping out John from Lightning Motorsports. I reckon Tombo is probably on the radio to John, giving him a little bit of stick about that right now. On the fifth row of the grid is the Thunder Esports team owner Artsy, followed by my boy Lenosis from APR in P10. Sixth row of the grid is the other Thunder driver, Heafy, with the other Kraken driver, Dale Teeks. And on the final row of the grid is Slapper's mate from Lightning Motorsport and CPJ from CP Motorsports. Rightio. So, YouTube chat. Bet you weren't expecting that result in qualifying, were you? But some results I would like to hear is your podium predictions. Top 3, no particular order.
No particular order. Okay, so we box it out. Let's say Goaty, Jish, and I like the way GTR's looking. GTR. Top 3 for the top 3.
Well, GDR has had a bit of a checkered history. Has always shown extremely rapid pace. Has had a few unfortunate, how do I put this, off-track excursions that have hampered his season results. But that being said, it's entirely possible tonight that he's just gonna go for gold, not give a stuff about who's fighting for the championship, and he's gonna throw the biggest GTR Blacklight Motorsports shaped spanner in the works as he possibly can. Which, to be fair,
well, I think
makes things a whole lot more interesting for everyone.
To do with, if BSR has got team orders out there, if I were them and I really wanted Goaty to win, I would have my teammate help me as much as possible throughout the race. Now, that's the advantage that the SR has over Gish. So if they work together, that too is going to be hard to beat. So we'll have to see what happens.
Just checking in the YouTube chat. Apex Humper, his podium prediction is Goat Gish Foss. Mr. Bumcrack reckons GTR Goat Wakey. Hashtag no bias for his driver. Captain Muffin, nice of you to be tuning in, mate. Good to hear from you. Sorry to hear about the passport issues at the Swiss border. His predictions is Foss, Gish, Goat in that order. Oof, that's a bit harsh. I mean, at least you put your teammate ahead of Goaty. That's one thing, I guess. Karen's gone for the trifecta with the bonus bet of Gish, Goat, GDR, and Lenosis in the top 5. So he's gone for the same race multi right there. Very interesting indeed. But I reckon that's enough talk. How about we give everybody at home watching what they've been waiting for the last time this season. Let's kick it in the gut, shall we?
Yeah, season 10 finals. Here we go. 9 seconds.
Oh, buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be on for young and old and a race for the ages. I just have that feeling. Oh, let's get it going. As we've got the cars out on track. Everyone looking pretty nervous tonight. I'm feeling pretty nervous. We've got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Revs are up. And everyone is off the line, nice and clean. Beautiful to see. GDR still in front. Everybody's tucked in single file. Oh, Gish is looking very, very racy early on. Slings it down the inside of Foss. Foss is able to hold it around the outside. Side by side into that nasty uphill S's. It's, I think Gish doesn't want to do anything aggressive just yet. Not the time. Don't want to throw it all away on lap 1, so Foss holds on to P3 for now. How are we looking further down the field? Everybody's behaving themselves there, Revs?
Yeah, 14-car train.
Beautiful. That's what we like to see. Everyone making it through at least the first sector nice and clean. So they're barreling up the hill towards that hairpin for the first time. Got Niff and Tombo working together, it would seem. Tombo's just giving Niff a bit of a push. Niff ducks to the inside, Tombo's around the outside. That gives John a little bit of room up the inside to just get alongside with Tombo. Has to just tuck it back in behind Tombo. So up the front, GDR's already skipped out to 7/10. He is not wanting to hang around. He knows how important a slipstream is to the drivers behind him, and he does not want to give any advantage. Thought I saw a move there, but I think it was just Gish going defensive over Young Wacky. I think Tombo's made his move on Niff. Getting a little bit touchy-feely with the uphill S's, but no harm, no
I call
foul.
that Death Valley. Death Valley for sure.
Oh yes, going side by side through Death Valley is not a great idea. We saw it nearly end absolutely catastrophically in the Category 1B race. I recommend these guys try it. So everyone's still running line astern. Niff behind Tombo here.
CPJ with the 5.5 penalty.
Oof, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, up the back.
Oh, he is way off the back as he had a... Oh, I think Slappers and CPJ have had a bit of a horror first. Nothing untoward. Nothing huge in terms of lap times on the opening lap. I'd say their problems probably came along on lap 2. Lenosis tucked in, well, he's the meat in the Thunder Esports sandwich. He's sort of trying to blend in with those pink wheels. But I don't think there's going to be anything doing. I don't think they'll be going easy on him.
Boss with a 135.138 fastest lap.
He's not mucking around. There's a little bit of gap between him and Godey. It's half a second. So Godey's got Foss to act as a rear gunner for him. Now, I have seen that before in a few rounds so far this season. Hasn't always worked out for the BSR guys in that regard. Geesh is... Well, he's just bloody fast. For the lack of a better description. And you really can only hold someone like that back for so long. As he's right on the back of Foss now. So GDR is going to want to drop Goat off. And still only at 7/10, so he's still within slipstream. The gap back to Foss has gone back to 7/10. Geesh is having a look down the inside of the hairpin here. I think Foss has left the door open for Wakey as well, as they're side by side onto the main straight. I think there could be a 2-for-1 deal going on here. No, nothing doing. Foss has got a pretty good exit out of that hairpin. The young Wacky's got the slipstream. He's using it for a bump draft. Just taking the smart play here. He doesn't want to waste time fighting. In the early stages of the race, especially at this circuit in these cars, that is definitely the smart play. Because if you're just going to go swing haymakers at each other with the other driver, you're both going to lose so much time to the guys in front. It is not funny. It can be to the tune of 1.5 seconds a lap, and there's very little chance that you're going to be able to make that back. So I think Wacky's making the smart play there. It's like, all right, let's not fight. I'll push you along. We'll catch up to the guys in front, and then we can make it a 3-way battle instead of a 2-way fight. Much, much more clever move, I think. Godey's managed to take a couple of tenths off GDR. Geesh is still within slipstream range of Goat. He's lost his rear gunner and his purple. So Godey's currently got the fastest lap, so that bonus point will come in handy. Geesh might just be able to take it off him. But given how quick these guys are, and especially later in the race with a lower fuel, fresh soft tyre situation, I don't see these fastest laps hanging around for too much longer.
There. If you're too hot, and that penalty there is just kick your butt all race. And you can't afford one penalty if you want to take out a championship. That in corners 2, 3, 4, 5 combination. you go in too hot, you're bouncing off the wall at the end. If you just get one of the corners just a little bit wrong, it slaps you sideways into one of the walls. It's got to be one of the trickiest sets of corners in the game. Yeah, it feels good. Lenosa's got a 0.5 penalty. These guys are doing too. They really got to watch out for their tires. You know, they're doing a second a lap faster than what I would do, and it wears the tires out a lot. And at these speeds, it's so easy to start sliding those tires around. So they got to watch out for that. Yeah, awesome.
Alright, I've just realised I had my microphone muted so people can't hear me, so that's fine. It was a beautiful segue into an APR tyre and fuel update. So how are we looking up front there, Revs?
Okay, so the top three, their tires are exactly the same. Missing about maybe 10% on that front right. If you look at the fuel, top three, second place, Mountain Goat's got a little bit more than GTR, and Geesh has a little bit more than Goaty, but all cars are pretty much identical. Boss, he's exactly copy and paste for Geesh. No difference in the tires, just about that 10% wear. Wakey, little less worn on the tires, but he's always used his tires up a little bit harder than the other guys. And exactly 2/3 of a tank. Tombo's got a little bit less fuel than Wakey, but the tires are about exactly the same. And Nip all over the back of Tombo, his tires are like at 60%, is what he's got left over, 40% worn. He's really hard on his tires, and yeah, just under 2/3 of a tank. John 27, he's probably got 70% of a tire left, and just under 2/3 of a tank. Artsy, he's probably at about 65% of a tire and just under 2/3 of a tank. Heafy, his tires are looking a little bit better than his partner in front. Probably around 75-80% tire there, and he's used a little bit more fuel than his partner, and he's under 2/3 of a tank. Lenosis, probably about 70% of a tire, and I would say probably about 60% in fuel. Dale Teeks, his front right, he's probably got 80% of a tire left, and just above a half a tank of fuel. Slappa is my teammate. He's looking good. His tires are really good. Probably maybe about 80% of a tire left, and over a half a tank of fuel, looking good. CPJ50 at the very back, just over a half a tank of fuel, and his tires are looking really good at around 75-80%.
Thank you very much, Reb. So that is our tyre and fuel update brought to you by APR Automotive. You are in safe hands. Now, just to clarify, every driver here was on the racing soft?
Yes, they were.
Okie dokie, so fairly even in the strategy front. As we check back up front, still business as per usual with GTR 7/10 to the good over Mountain Goat, who's got Geesh still half a second tucked in behind him. He's got Foss 3/10 behind him. Young Wakey in P5, 3/10 behind. Tombo 3/10, 7/10. I can read numbers. And we've got John, who's managed to put himself up into P7 over Niff. Now, did Niff have a little bit of a... Oh, Niff wants to have a conversation with this. I think John just put the move on Niff earlier. I don't think there was an error. But Niff is forced to concede that. He wanted to have a move into turn one, but don't think there was enough there for him to take it. So from the lack of aggression in the top 5 or 6 drivers at this stage, I think it's probably safe to say that most of them are looking at making up time and position in the pits with a fuel save.
Very much, yeah. Let GTR use up all his fuel and just sit right behind him, saving each lap, every lap, and see what happens after the pit.
Oh, they don't want to do that too much because GDR's nearly a second out in front and Geesh is pretty much on the back of Goat at this point.
I have to do a shout out for Artsy and Heafy, 9 and 10. Right now he's bump drafting his partner and he's actually helping them, both the two of them are actually helping each other to move up to the guys in front and catch up to Niff. So
that is
impressive stuff back there.
That is 100% the smart play right there. It doesn't matter if it's your teammate or not. It doesn't even matter if you like the guy too much. Just the smart play is help the guy in front of you because his slipstream will help you, and that means that both of you can bang on about this until the end of time. It lets the two of you catch the drivers in front. Because we're still early on, we're only 1/3 of the way through the race, so I mean they're teammates, they're not going to fight. Well, I say that, but we've seen that happen before.
Geesh has broken the slipstream. Oh, but he's got a 0.5 penalty on turn 5.
Wait, Geesh has a penalty?
No, GTR. Excuse my friend.
Okay, right.
He broke away the slipstream.
Oh, he did. He's out.
Going into turn 5, got a 0.5.
Oh, he will serve that this lap. He's 1.3 seconds up. There will be swearing. There will be swearing from the Blacklight team radio, so we might not tune into that. He does retain the lead, but that does bring Mountain Goat well back into slipstream range and undoes all that hard work GDR put in to get out that gap. So we've got the fuel save train here. Foss still P4. Wakey P5 still. Tombo's now got a John 27 bumper sticker. As John got pulls to the inside. I don't think John's interested in fuel saving behind Tombo. He wants to get in front of him, worry about the fuel later. but as it stands at this point, there's 2 blacklight drivers inside the top 8, so I reckon the good doc will be fairly happy with it so far. And now I will get the camera off him, off the blacklight cars, before I jinx them. So John's now got his sights set on young Wakey. Still in the lead. Can't quite get that lead back out to how he had it. Penalties here will hit you hard.
Oh, torturous.
Roll in the chat. If Goat finishes 1 place ahead of Geesh, but Geesh has fastest lap, who wins? Good question. I'm not doing that kind of math on the fly. But we do have a countback system in place. So if there is a tie for points, it'll go back to... I'm sure I'll be corrected later because I will be wrong. But it will go back to who has the most race wins. And if that's still a tie... Yeah, look, I actually don't know that off the top of my head, but let's not worry about it. Let's just get it done.
We're now just getting into that level in the stint, these later laps where the tires are really going to start hurting, and they got to be extra careful with the speeds that they're doing, not to lose control. So it's all hands on deck, I think.
Is there anyone out there who's noticeably hurting more than the others for tires?
Top 3, GTR has the sorrier of the tires.
Top 8, I would say.
Who else? John 27, his tires are hurting. Oh, and Niff. Is Niff out of controller? I'm not sure, but he's got maybe 10% of the tire left.
I do believe Niff is a controller driver, yes. Having said that, as is Tombo, I think. Please, YouTube chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Alright, so we've got Brocky in the chat, thankfully saving my butt doing the math. So to the question, if Goat finishes 1 place ahead of Geesh, but Geesh has the fastest lap, Goat would still win because the point difference between the positions, I think, is 2 points.
Yeah.
But the fastest lap is only 1 point. And so GDR definitely threw a spanner in the works by taking the pole position point away, so that takes that out of the equation. So in effect, it does make the mathematics a little bit simpler. So well done, GDR, and thank you. Still going. What are we on? Lap 14. So we'll possibly see a pit stop sometime soon. Maybe an undercut, but I would hazard a guess that the drivers behind would probably wait for the driver in front to blink and then just follow them, because losing the slipstream at this stage would be disastrous, I would say, considering this top 8 fuel train that's just going on.
Little squiggling going around on that last corner.
Did see a little bit of squirming from a few drivers, but that's okay. John's made his way up into P6. He did that a little while ago. He's on the back of Foss. Really make a move. He's got a great run down the straight. Pulls to the inside, shows the nose. Oh, just backs out of it. Thought Foss was going to have a go. Well, hello, young Wacky's made his way up into P4. There you go. I can almost hear Mr. Bumcrack, the Kraken Esports team driver, team owner, cheering from here. You'll be absolutely loving that. You'll be wanting every point possible for the Kraken boys to possibly take out the team's title this season. So lap 15, GDR's managed to get that gap out to 9/10. A little bit of weaving going on down the back straight from Godey just to try and break the slipstream a little bit. Or at the very least, keep the guys behind him on their toes, making them work for that slipstream. Now into lap 15, who blinks? Who goes into the pits?
Road train.
Bang! There we go. GDR's in, Godey's in, Jeesh is in, Wakey, everybody's in. Whoa, Niff has had a little bit of a moment, I think, somewhere along the line in this lap. He's just dropped off the back combo. Well, in an unexciting turn of events, everybody's in the pits. Everybody.
The best fuel save though, with 30 liters left.
Oh, Godey wasn't too bad either. He was on 28. So there's
Loss of a second.
There's a second there. So I think Jeesh will probably come out of the pits in front. But having said that, this is the first half of the race. That's the fuel save scenario. The second half of the race, probably not so much. I would say it's going to be a little more aggressive, a little bit racier. Ooh, GTR.
GTR went really lean.
Ooh, this could come back to bite him. He's held his position on the road, but Foss has come out in P2. There's an exciting turn of events. Jeesh, third. Young Wacky in fourth. Goatee in fifth. Ooh, this is alright. This has thrown things in the air. Right. As I've stated many times before, I'm horrible at math, so I'm not even going to try and do the math on who's potentially winning at this point. I'm not even going to try it. And my go-to man for that kind of math is currently on track. So, look, we're all a little bit SOL in that regard at this point in time. So we're just going to have to sit back and enjoy the racing, and we will work it out a little bit later.
I can tell you that Keith and Godey took more fuel than everybody around them. So I think they'll be able to use that to try to pass a few people, have an argument between each other by the time we get to the end of the race.
Wait, so Goat and Jeesh have put more in the tank than everyone else when they had the best fuel numbers of everybody. Okay.
I know why.
So they're just basically going to give it all of the beans.
Yeah, very smart. You get into a racing here, tires start to wear out. You can actually use your accelerator to keep those times in check on the straightaways. Tires are getting really beat up on these corners, especially that first sector. Death Valley really hurts them.
Oh yes.
Mountain Goat is purple.
Comments in the YouTube chat, Mr. Bumcrack setting up for one hell of a finish. Can confirm that is right. Brocky is my go-to math man at the moment. Current positions, Jeesh wins. Captain Muffin says, we as the audience are winning. Oh, so wholesome. But we don't want wholesome, we want a winner. Karen, this is one of the most intense championship finals I've seen in ages. Can confirm that Brocky's keeping it nice and simple. Whoever finishes ahead of the other wins a championship. There we go, basically simple. And at the moment, Jeesh has the fastest lap, so he's also got that extra point up his sleeve as a bonus. So he's got the track position over Godey and the bonus point.
Looks like he's in a hurry too.
but there's still 13 laps to go, so... Foss is going to hold him out for as long as he can. Can he keep it around the outside? You can hold a lot of speed here, and that gives you the inside for turn 3. Foss has got a great exit. I think he will hold on to it through Death Valley. Geesh has thought better of it. Just a slight lift, I'd say there, just tucking behind. Back behind, got Mountain Goat as a bumper sticker on the back of that Kraken car of young Wakey. So both the BSR boys putting in the work.
The difficulty about this track is he's quicker than the guy in front of you. So all the guy in front has to do is just keep that nice, clean line, and he can definitely be a cork in the bottle without causing any kind of major difficulties for himself.
That is correct. Doesn't have to do anything major to drive defensively. Just drive cleanly, basically, and that it does half the work for you. I don't know where to look at the moment. We've got Geesh and Foss both looking for a move on GDR into the hairpin. Got Mountain Goat sending it down the inside of young Wakey at the hairpin. Gets it done. That puts Geesh as the meat in a BSR sandwich. The question is, will there be mustard or relish? That is the important question. Can you tell that your comms team is slightly hungry? Not at all.
Well, new fastest lap, 134.408.
Oh, it's getting very feisty down the straight with Geesh and Foss. I'm not sure if that was defensive or looking for a move on GDR or what was happening there, but yes, well, like I said, the first half of the race was a fuel save, and now it's kicking off. These top 5 are just going to swing absolute haymakers at each other for the next...
GTR with a 0.5 penalty.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
He went deep out of corner 5 into the tunnel, and he crossed the white line. Yeah, 0.5, thank you very much.
Rightio, so that is going to give Foss P1 presumably, and possibly drop GDR. Well, he's going to serve it net this lap, so he's definitely going to lose 1, 2, maybe 3 positions. And there will be swearing coming from that Black Light Team's radio. It's down to P4. And young Wakey goes by, holds it. No. GDR's managed to hold the inside. Hangs on to P4, so not the end of the world.
No.
But he is behind the 2 BSR guys. Geesh out in front to the tune of half a second. But he does have the 2 BSR drivers working together behind him, so they will definitely be slipstream training. Oh! Foss nearly goes right into the back of Geesh into turn 1 by just being carrying a bit more speed than he imagined. As we shall take a look at that, the JSM accounting action replay, which I don't think I've done so far this race because it was a bit of a fuel train in the first half of the race. I think Foss has just misjudged his braking a little bit there, but that has let Goaty go on through. It's not so bad when you're overtaken by your teammate. It kind of takes the sting out of it a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I mean, no one enjoys being overtaken by anyone. But when it's your teammate, you can be like, could be worse.
I meant that.
The YouTube chat are big fans of yours, Rev. Apparently you've got one heck of a voice for comms. And you are also a better race director than Michael Massey as well.
sun's going down. The track is going to start to really cool
Oh,
off.
here we go.
Could help those tires just a little bit.
It's getting very feisty there between Foss and GDR. I think GDR wanted to go side by side through Death Valley. Not the greatest idea, mate. Recommend it, but you know, you do you. But up front is where the battle's at. Goody has taken over.
Just look at me.
Just quietly, Goaty's taken over the fastest lap too with a 1:34.4, so he's got that bonus point. But from Brocky's maths, if Geesh finishes in front, he still will take the title by 1 point. So Goaty needs to get in front of Geesh. I think that's the long and the short of it. He's only a couple of tenths behind, so perfectly doable at this stage. Lap 21 of 30. Oh, what's going on there with GDR and Foss? Was there a little bit of touching going on? Let's have a look at that on our replay and see what we can make of it. Coming into the braking zone of the hairpin, I saw Foss going a little bit wide off track. I think it was Foss just trying not to go into the back of his teammate. Good plan. That's something you definitely don't want to do.
Especially today.
So that has let GDR go on through and tuck onto the back of Mountain Goat. So Cody's lost his rear gunner / slipstream buddy. I don't think GDR is going to be interested in helping anyone but himself. And can't say I blame him in this situation. If I was him, I would definitely want to throw the biggest spanner in this championship works as possible. Just based on the feeling of, well, if I can't win it, I'm going to make it difficult for anyone else to. Not impossible, I'm not going to ruin their day, I'm just going to make it work for them. Now, Brocky's asking the big questions in the chat. Can GDR make it home on fuel? What do you say, Rebs? Has GDR got enough fuel to make it home?
Well, he's definitely looking the worst out of the top 5, that's for sure. But if anyone can make it, I guess it's him. I'll try to keep an eye on that as the race continues. But yeah, that's a good call.
Because I do remember he did short fuel. Oh, as Mountain Goat goes down the inside of Geesh into turn 1 and takes the race lead on lap 23, if you don't mind. Thank you very much. And we will definitely have another look at that on our JSM Accounting action replay. Textbook maneuver, out of the slipstream, into the braking zone, side by side, into the corner, tucks down the inside and gets a very good exit on the inside, which is actually more difficult than you'd imagine. Much harder to put the grip down on the inside than it is running wide there. So he's done an absolutely brilliant job of making that move stick.
And the most important part and the impressive part is he did it against Geesh.
Yes, definitely. Oh, here we go. I don't know where to watch here. We've got Geesh going down the Geesh wanting around the outside of Go to the hairpin. Boss was having a look at GDR. We've got young Wacky still in the mix as well. He's not going away. He's definitely going to throw his name in the ring as well. Oh boy, I don't know where to look. This is crazy. Are we going to go 3 wide into turn 1? Don't tell me we're going to go 3. We're going to go 3 wide into 4 wide. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, hold your breath here. This is.
Cody sticks the apex.
Oh, GDR on the outside. How did he hold it there? Oh, GDR's into the lead. What the?
Yeah, smashes the apex.
Oh my!
And again, going into the tunnel.
Oh my! Wow! Holy!
Now, the question is, will he have enough fuel to stay up there?
That is the key question. He's managed to make it into the lead, but can he? How long can he stay there? All right, let's have a look at that on the replay because I have no words.
Do the hardest part of the track.
Oh, I think I've lost the replay. Ugh.
Oh no.
Oh well. Yep, definitely lost it.
Arguing going into the last corner. She's up the inside of Mountain Goat. Mountain Goat's got an argument with it. It's a drag race. Ooh, Boss coming up the inside.
Oh, there
Sorry,
we go.
Outside.
Foss is back as a rear gunner for his teammate. Playing the bump draft, buddy. There is smart plays 101 going on everywhere. Jisha's down the inside. He's got the pace. But I think that little bump draft from Foss has just spared Mountain Goat for another lap. As Foss makes his way through as well, he's got himself ahead of Jish. So this is the ideal scenario for BSR right now. We've got Goaty in P2. He's got the fastest lap extra point as well, and he's got Foss back as a rear gunner to hold off Jish. Little bit of breathing space. Now when I say little bit, I mean like a couple of thousandths of a second. Little bit. And of course you can't discount young Wacky either. He's still there in P5. He is still a threat to be reckoned with.
Whoa, big slap.
Whoa. Definitely a moment there onto the back straight from Jish. Just have a look at that.
That's a few tenths of Boss as well.
On the JSM accounting replay, they come down down the hill over the bridge. Just got checked up a little by Foss, I think. Ran a little wide or a little bit squirmy off the ripple strip.
Ooh. Goaty up at the inside of GTR in the last corner, and he takes the lead.
So we shall have a look at that on our... Actually, we won't just yet. We'll see if GDR returns fire. Oh, Goat goes defensive down the main straight, gets right up against the pit wall. Jish is having a look at the inside of Foss as well. Oh, is there a 2-for-1 deal here? Jish is right on the inside. Goaty's in the middle. Goaty gets a great exit. They're side by side into Death Valley. Who's going to let go? Oh, no.
Oh, looking good there. Ooh.
Oh, they've held it. Oh, my. They are bleeding time to GDR, but Goaty has held it.
And Boss.
Oh, my. Yep, it is definitely on for young and old. They are no longer worried about saving fuel. They don't care about slipstreaming trade anymore. It is about track position, hard and fair. Aside from that, no holds barred, let's do it, is basically what is going down here for this championship decider tonight. Alright, I'm hearing the YouTube chat saying no more replays. Yeah, okay, I hear ya. I hear ya. Don't worry, I'll leave it alone.
Distinct Jish up the inside of Boss, but before that, Boss did a nice bump draft on his partner, Goaty, to give him that little bit of boost. He's going to do it again. Another bump draft for Goaty. My, it's nice to have a teammate just behind you in the most crucial part of the race.
It's okay, YouTube chat. I think I decided against doing many more replays about the time you guys have started screaming at me to stop it, so it's alright. We're on the same page. It's all good here. Grovel chiming in. It's a bit of a 2 versus 1 at the moment with BSR versus Geesh. Geesh is still holding his own in that 2v1. Still got time. 3.5 laps to go.
Ooh, that was close for Foss for a track limit. Ooh, he comes out of it. Nice. Oh, he didn't get one, but that was really close. I have to say, John 27, he was 4.5 seconds behind Wakey. Now he's only 1.4. He's really doing a lot. He might be able to catch up to Wakey by the time we get to the argument of this race.
Boss is performing his rear gunner duties to a T there. Just positioning the car brilliantly on the track in the braking zone for that hairpin. It's just checked up Geesh a little bit. Geesh is getting pretty tired of this by the looks of it. Sends it down the inside of turn 1. Positions the car perfectly himself. Gets a great drive, and I think Foss has lost 2 spots there with young Wacky. Oh, that's tight through the valley of death. Foss hangs on to P4. But Geesh is back onto the back of young Goaty. Lap 28 of 30.
Tires are screaming.
Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. This is not going to be settled until the final straight. Don't count Foss out of this either. Geesh can't afford to just look ahead. He's going to have to look in his rear vision mirror as well.
I have to say the impressive part is GTR. He's the one that's in the worst condition with fuel, but he seems to be holding that position quite well.
Geesh wants it around the outside of the hairpin. Nothing doing there. Oh, Goat was a little bit squirmy there on the exit. That's allowed Geesh to get right on his rear bumper down this long straight. Goaty's going to have to go right up against the pit wall, go defensive. Or maybe not. Geesh is flung out of the slipstream. Maybe Goat should have gone more defensive there. I don't know. But Geesh has got it down the got it done in turn 1. Whoa, runs a little wide. Leaves the door open a little bit for Goaty going into 2. Side by side through the valley of death. Please don't do that to me, guys. My heart can't take it. It's getting a bit rough. Geesh slides into P2. Whoa. Gotta take a breath here. Alright, lap 29. 1.5 laps to go.
What a finish.
It's
Anyone ever think that at the end of season 10, in the final, lap 29, and Geesh and Mountain Goat are one in front of the other for the final? I don't think you could ever have anything this close.
8-round season, and it's all come down to the last 5 laps.
Ooh, Geesh arguing with GTR going into the last corner. Geesh around the outside.
Is Goat going to send it up the inside? Oh my
Inside. What a
God!
move by Goat.
Mountain Goat
Yeah.
down the inside of Geesh at the final hairpin. What a move! And I'm not showing it to you on replay because I'll get absolutely murdered. So sorry, you're just going to have to deal with seeing that live, and that's all you're going to get because we've got one more lap to decide this title. I might just shut up and let the racing do the talking.
Boss with a bump draft on Goaty. Ooh.
Oh, Goat down the inside, following GDR. Oh, Geesh is off track. He's on the grass. Oh, a little bit squirmy. He's managed to gather it up. Oh, that's
off the wall. 0.5 to Geesh.
Oh,
oh
no.
My goodness, that
hurt. No. That, ladies and gentlemen, I think that may have just settled the championship right there. That little squirm onto the grass, that track limit penalty. Oh, that's tragic. But it ain't over yet. It's not looking good, but it is not over yet. He will have to serve it this lap.
Did you make it to the end? This is a big question. Sorry, GTR. Give my.
Yes.
Now,
How
GTR,
is
will he
the
make it to the end?
how is the
Fuel's
GTR?
flashing.
The GTR fuel situation update?
It's flashing, and there's only just a little bit of a spot of red that I can see.
Oh, and there's the cruelty of that penalty happening. Drops Geesh back to P5. Oh, that is heartbreaking.
Jody.
That is, but he's not gonna let it settle. He wants that position over Foss.
Ooh.
GTR might just get the race win tonight here, but
Oh.
oh
He ran out of fuel. He ran out of fuel.
no, he
Jody
does.
with the victory.
Your race winner and season 10 Category 1 champion, Mountain Goat, takes the win here at Deep Forest tonight. GTR running out of fuel in the final straight. P2, Young Wacky bringing it home to pick up a podium position in P3. Tombo for Blacklight, P8, well-earned P4. Geesh with heartbreaking, to say the least, P5. John 27, P6. Boss, P7. After, I'm not sure what happened there. Had a little bit of a horror last lap, possibly. P8, Nif. P9, Artsy. P10, Heafy. Dale Teeks, P11, Slappers, P12, CPJ, P13, and bringing it home after, well, a less than ideal evening. Little bit of weaving on the straights, rip the handbrake with your Lenosis, thank you very much. Finishing it up in P14. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think you could ask for more in regards to a final round of a championship season. Everything coming down to the final lap. Oh. Wow. Right. So, I'm just gonna need a second to recover from that.
What a finish.
Wow. Yeah. Alright, so your race winner, I'm going to say provisional because without doing the points officially, I'm not going to say it, but your provisional Sector 1 Category 1 Championship winner, defending his last season's title, Mountain Goat from BSR, GTR P2, Young Wacky P3, Tombo P4, Geesh P5, John P6, Foss P7, Nif P8, Artsy P9, Heafy P10, Dale Teeks P11, Slappers P12, CPJ P13, and Lenosis rounding out our grid tonight in P14. Now, I guess the question is there a young Mountain Goat on track doing burnouts?
Good question.
I would highly recommend that we encourage young Goaty to get out there for some burnouts, because I think that after a race like that, it is well deserved. Well, I don't even have words for that. That's probably the biggest race I've ever had the pleasure of calling.
What a final lap. But I wouldn't want to be a steward.
Yeah, look, I'm having a scroll through the YouTube chat at the moment. It's entirely possible that there may be some stewards' inquiries involved, but look, at this point, might just
Karen Unleashed in the comments says best season final we've ever had in S1. That's a big comment. What a season.
It's true. We do have some celebratory burnouts on track. Young mountain goat out there, absolutely destroying those rear tyres.
Shout out to my teammate Slappers. What a great season for your rookie year, mate. All I can say is thanks for all your help, and looking forward to next season.
Scouring over the chat, the good dog, the Blacklight team owner, is absolutely ecstatic, screaming combo. Where the F did he come from? Look, it's probably fair to say there might be some stewards' inquiries involved. So, look, I'm just going to leave an asterisk and a provisional over season champion for Mountain Goat. I'm sure we will have an official announcement later on, possibly at our season's awards night coming up in 2 weeks' time, off the top of my head. So it is not next weekend, but the week after. So if I check my calendar, that will be the 6th of July.
And it's a big congratulations to BSR for the team's championship, is that right?
Very good question. I don't know the math on that one, so look, I don't want to do the math on this one with the potential for a steward's inquiry.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, they look strong all season. I mean, they were always up the front there, looking pretty mean and ready for racing all year long. So
well,
yeah, anyways,
there's
BSR,
also
a
potential
great
for Kraken to have taken it out based on young Wakey's sensational result.
Ooh, yes, that's true.
Getting on the podium, and also chipping in for that effort would be Dale Teagues
Kraken
as well.
overall.
So they had a few points lead over Ironheart from memory. So yeah, I'm just not going to do the math on that one. What I will do is say thank you very, very much for everybody who has tuned in so far tonight and all through this season. It's been an absolute pleasure having you viewing what we put on here at Sector 1. It's not always easy. We do face our challenges. Thank you. #thank you Polyphony Digital. But genuine thank yous as always to our sponsors, which you can see here on the bottom of the screen: APR Automotive, Boxer Beauty, JSM Accounting, Adelaide Ceramic Coatings. Just like to say thank you to all of our drivers and team owners, because obviously without all of you we could not have a racing series. It would be rather boring actually if we didn't have you guys. I'd like to say thank you as well to all of the race director team who have put in all their time and effort this season. Basically, without you guys putting in all that time and effort off your own bat, we would not go racing. Simple as that. So thank you to all the race directors. Probably not a popular statement right here, but I'm going to say a massive thank you to our stewarding team this season. I can confirm it has been it's been a rough season for them, to say the least. Probably a lot more work than they would have preferred to have had, and I certainly do not envy them doing what they do, but it's a I mean this in the nicest way, but stewards are a necessary evil. We have to have them because you've got to keep people in line. Got to have clear boundaries, otherwise we would not have, for instance, the standard of racing that we saw here in Cat 1A tonight.
Spectacular racing because of the stewards, thank you.
And I don't want to do the Barack Obama putting a medal on myself kind of thing, but I'd just like to say thank you to my fellow admin for all the work that they do behind the scenes. Much appreciated. And thank you, especially for you, Revs, being race director tonight. I hope you had an absolute ball witnessing that racing.
What a final! What a final. I'm just happy that I was able to do the RD work for the last 2 races of the season. And yeah, our Sector 1 Elite, they're next level. If this race is anything to go by, make sure you stick in and watch season 11.
Definitely, definitely. Now, we will have some announcements in regards to our Season 11 car selection. We currently have a poll up and running for the drivers to select which one of the options they were provided with for what cars and what sort of format we will be running for next season. So certainly stay tuned for an announcement in that regards. There will be announcements on our Facebook, and you can check the video description for links to our Facebook page and also to our Discord if you'd like to join in on our community series, which will be undergoing a little bit of revamping for next season. We've been having some discussions this season about what we can do with it to make it a little bit more interesting and a little bit more relevant. So stay tuned for those developments as well. I'm sure there's a few things that I've forgotten to say, but I do feel like I am rambling on a bit too much. So once again, thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. I hope you enjoyed yourselves immensely, at least as much as I did, if not more. Please smack the like button, do the subscribe thing, etc., etc. We'd love to have your company every time. I'm running out of things to say, so thank you all again, and I am going to bid you all a good night.
Good night, everyone.
See you next season.